Perfect. Hey guys, Oscar here for Notagrouch, Notagrouch.com, and also I want to answer some questions for the 90-day video challenge. Only a couple of questions came up, and if you have any questions that you want me to address, drop them down in the weekly question thread. Just look for it in the announcements, or look for the topics in the side of the group to filter out through the different types of comments that you can follow up on or ask questions and stuff like that. So let's check this out. Chris Brown says, I'm curious how to add text above or below my video. I came across Wave Video, which is free, last night, but I'm still playing with it. What are a few video editing tools that people are using? So essentially video editing tools. Which ones are people using? So I'll tell you what I know, and there's obviously dozens and dozens of these, but I'll tell you the most popular ones and the ones I think are the best to use because of they are commercially available, because they have support, because a lot of people use them, so you'll find the YouTube tutorials and courses or books on them. And I'll mention a few of them for the phone. Now, I'm a little bit old school in that regard. I want to edit on my computer because it gives me the ability to use all my hand, my full hands, 9 fingers. I have the power of my computer. The power on your phone, doesn't matter how fast it is, it's likely not as powerful as your computer. Unless you have a really old computer and a brand new top of the line phone, chances are your computer is more powerful than your phone. So keep that in mind. I know it's convenient, and I know you're shooting your video on location, either on a location of the stuff you want to film or filming yourself, and it seems obvious to just edit right there on the phone, but I prefer to bring those files into my desktop or my laptop and then edit them there. So for Windows and Mac, let's start with a relatively new software that is out there called Davinci Resolve. This is 100% free of cost. It is not open source, but it is free, and you can just download it, install it, and start using it. It is made by the manufacturers of the Blackmagic brand, and they actually use it for their equipment. They also have a paid version. This is sophisticated software. It is not super easy to use, but a lot of people rave about it, and it has some really cool features. And for it to be free, it's amazing. So if you're starting from scratch and you're serious about making videos, this may be the way to go because it's free, and it'll introduce you to a lot of the concepts of video editing that translate into the next 2 pieces of software that I'll mention. So it's an interesting choice. Free, it's supported, it's starting to have a lot of traction, so there's tutorials out there on how to do whatever you need to do. All of these software that I'm going to mention allow you to add titles, which is Chris's main question. So that's called Davinci Resolve. The next 2 that I'm going to mention are more or less the mainstream standard video editing tools for Windows and for Mac. And that is Adobe Premiere. This one's actually available for PCs and Macs. It's made by Adobe, and it is a very robust application. It takes quite a bit of time to learn it, but if you follow a couple of tutorials online, you will be able to do some basic stuff right away, maybe within an hour or 2 of playing around with it, and you can definitely put titles and transitions and do special stuff into your video. Definitely beyond what you could do on your phone with inexpensive, cheap, or free apps. As you get more sophisticated and more experience in the use of the software, of course, this is what people make to make full-blown movies. So anything from commercials to vlogging, people use this all the time. What's usually known as a counterpart to Premiere Pro is Final Cut Pro, which is a Mac-only application. It costs about $300. I believe Adobe Premiere costs, I think, like $50 a month. So maybe a little bit more, maybe like $600 a year as opposed to $300 for Final Cut Pro. So if you have a Mac and you're starting out, you may consider Final Cut Pro to save some money. It is very capable and is sophisticated, and some people swear by it. That is my choice. That is what I use the most. That's what I use for pretty much everything. And I'll tell you about the next one and why I moved to Final Cut Pro, because there's a natural progression from the one I'm going to mention next into Final Cut Pro. But Final Cut Pro definitely lets you put in titles, transitions. You can synchronize audio. For example, right now, oh, there's some bugs here. This is a bad idea to record a video, but I can synchronize my camera audio to my microphone that I have right here. This is why you should be able to hear me very clearly. And so that is done automatically. Final Cut Pro takes care of that. I don't need to move the sound until it matches. I just say, hey, match this audio file to this video file, and it does it. I believe Premiere does that as well. Resolve, I think Resolve does that as well. And that's one of the nice features of the higher end software, is little things like that, like synchronizing audio tracks to video tracks. That can take such a long time, and it can be such a pain if you don't know what you're doing. And even if you know what you're doing, it can be frustrating matching that sound to my lips and to the voice and matching all that. So that's why I recommend Final Cut Pro or Premiere or Resolve. Those are my top 3 choices for 99% of the people that want to start with video or want to do video vlogging, even for the 90-day video challenge. Then they are the more or less inexpensive or free options for Mac laptops or Mac computers. iMovie comes bundled with it. It's ready to go off the bat. So if you buy a new MacBook or a new iMac or whatever, iMovie comes installed, ready to go, and it's very, very capable. You can do tons of stuff, bring in your movies, bring in music, add titles, transitions, and it has built-in themes. So if you want like a Hawaiian travel theme, that is built into it. So if you want like a theme, it's all built in, and it's very easy to use. You just drag and drop and kind of split your titles and your videos, and then just say, give me the file, and it's done. And one of the great benefits of iMovie is that it works really great with the Mac environment. So if you have an iPhone, you can easily bring your phones through Airdrop onto your computer and then bring them into iMovie. And the settings for everything kind of just work with the iPhone, so that's all ready to go. If you don't have a Mac, you also have Windows Movie Maker for the PC side of things, and that lets you, it's a free download from Microsoft. It used to come bundled in with Windows, with the Windows operating system, but now you have to just download it. But it's still free. You just go and download it, and it is not as good as iMovie, but it's good enough to make movies, to make cool commercials. If you wanted to make like a little vlog or make videos like we're doing right now in the 90-day video challenge, definitely allows you to do transitions, cut videos in and out, and do titles. So text on top, text on the bottom, you can do all that with Windows Movie Maker. Now on the phone, there are a couple, on the phone or iPad actually, or tablet. For the tablet, there's one app that I've been looking at for a while, and it looks amazing. It's called Lumafusion, I believe. Lumafusion is the right word. If for some reason it's not, I'll put it right here, and then you can go check it out. It requires a late generation iPad, and it's only for the iPad. But some people swear by it because it does all the fancy stuff that the top of the line applications I mentioned can do, but it does it in a very smart way, from what I understand in the tutorials I've seen. It just kind of does the right thing. So you can split your videos, add music track, do color coding, do 4K output, do titles, and do all that all within your iPad. So if you have a fancy iPad like an iPad Pro, you may want to look into Lumafusion. I believe that's going to be the top player in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, as more people get, higher end iPads and stuff like that, and those prices come down a little bit. For the phone, there's an app very popular called InShOT, and that's the only one I'm going to mention on the phone because it's the only one I really know enough about to talk about, and I don't really know a whole lot, but I know that it's very popular. You can do full video edits on it, and I believe they have a free version and a paid version. I could be wrong on that. I forgot that detail, but you can add transitions. It also has cool, very trendy stuff like fancy transitions and titles and meme type of stuff that you can add, sound effects, all that stuff. So you may want to look at that for videos if you want to be editing directly on your phone. That's it. Those are kind of the options I would give you as a starting point. I'm sure you can find lots of apps in your app store, whether it's the Apple store or the Android store, but I think that if you stick to the better known brands and the most popular ones out there, you will have a better experience, because you can always go and find support online, find groups that talk about the specific software, or find videos and tutorials for that. So, and then the last question I kind of answered already when I was talking about iMovie and the iPhone. Annie, another member of the group, mentions, how do I get my videos from my iPhone to my Mac desktop? And there's half a dozen ways of doing that. You could plug in your iPhone and then synchronize with your desktop and let that happen, and then I believe they will be available in your actually I'm not sure where they will be available, but I'm pretty sure that brings them over. You can also upload them to your iCloud account and then download them from your iCloud account on your desktop. But the easiest and fastest way to transfer videos from an iPhone to your desktop, to your Mac desktop, is through Airdrop. Airdrop is a utility that lets you transfer files between the iPhone and other Apple devices in your network. So make sure that both devices are on the same Wi-Fi or wired network. Well, your iPhone wouldn't be on your wired network, but make sure they're all visible to each other, and then it should be seamless, and you can transfer big files. Another way that you can transfer files, of course, is something like Dropbox, Google Drive, or any of the cloud sharing file systems. You upload it there and then download it from your computer side when it's finished uploading. And then you can do whatever you want. Let's have a look here. Yeah, those are the questions for now. So if you have any questions that you want to have me answer, or post them to the group, just post them in the weekly questions thread. And again, this video will be posted there. So if you are a member of the 90-day video challenge, you can find it there. If you aren't part of the group yet, then I'll put the links down below as well. And until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you found this video useful. And let me know what else you want me to talk about. Catch you guys next time. Bye.